guys, welcome to another edition of SPNation Season 3. I'm your host for tonight, Javi Palanya, and joining me on my right side, Juan Banal, and on my left, the thriller, Willie Miller. Kamusta kayo? Wednesday, half day Wednesday, middle of the week.
Ako, okay lang ako. Kanina pa ako chill dito.
Ako, Jonah, mukhang talaga it's been a long day for you, ah.
Pagpasensya niya, medyo na-late ako ng kalahating araw.
Okay lang yan.
Masaya. Papawin natin sa usapan.
Importante nakarating ka. Importante nakarating ka.
Talaga lahat ng klaseng overtake. Sabi ko, bahala na hulihin ako kahit sa expressway.
Willie Miller ka, kawayan mo lang.
Sabi ko nagmamali, hindi ko pwedeng pagantay na sobra-sobra. Tagal naman kasi yung mga kasama ko.
So yan naman mga ka-SPNation, are you ready to elevate your sports experience? Dive into the world of live sports like never before with Sports Plus PH. Whether you're a fan of the game or just love the thrill of the action, register now at sportsplus.ph. Let's check out our hot takes para sa ating episode tonight ng SPNation Season 3. We have 3 topics and of course, dulo yung ating SPNation expert picks. First, we're going to talk about the Luka debut, the much-awaited debut of Luka Doncic with the LA Lakers. Second, the curtain call for the legendary Hubie Brown. And last, Boss Al fires at Coach Luigi. And syempre after that, meron tayong SPNation expert picks. 3 of the 15 NBA games tomorrow. Alright guys, let's get into it. The much-awaited debut of former Dallas Mavericks star Luka Doncic, who is now an LA Laker, made his much-awaited debut against the Utah Jazz yesterday. Scored 14 points, played almost 24 minutes, 5 out of 14 from the field, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Guys, anong masasabi niyo so far sa
Can we just
debut?
say, I'm happy that we're back to talking about basketball. Last episode kasi, puro football eh. Super Bowl kasi.
Well, siyempre, ang dami na rin kasing na sumasabaybay sa NFL ngayon. Kaya naman we have to, keep in pace with the fans, siyempre sa ating SPNation. So now, we're back to basketball and talking about Luka Doncic, which has been the talk of the town worldwide.
After last week.
Worldwide.
Actually, may appendix pa yan eh. Kasi pinag-uusapan din, syempre ang controversial dyan, yung trade, di ba? The fact that AD now is in Dallas and then Luka is in LA. People are also they can't help but not mention that AD just got injured.
Yeah, exactly.
Without any contact.
Wala, no contact at all. At saka, he was actually having a good game. I think he had 14, 15 points before he got injured.
I was excited for
on
Dallas.
pace for a 30-point game.
He got the feel of the game already.
Yun na nga, coach eh.
And then coming off a help drop, show, boom, and then lateral going to the right. Tapos biglang,
And he just proved every Dallas fans correct. Di ba na parang, kaya ayaw namin si AD.
Kasi fragile
Diba? Kasi ganyan siya. Di ba?
Kasi
Parang,
aahin mo naman yung AD na, who plays defense for a guy like Luka Doncic, who is allegedly daw out of shape. Pero at least si Luka kasi, Luka has played
healthy na out of shape.
Yeah, and this is the longest time na nag-sit out siya. Because sa tanang buhay ni Luka sa Dallas, he's played almost close to 80% of the games that he's had with the Dallas Mavericks. And now that he's with LA, finally debuting with the Los Angeles Lakers and forming what might be the most dangerous combo in the NBA right now with LeBron James. Is it gonna be the most dangerous combo?
and when
right
you say
now?
dangerous combo, we're not just talking about basketball alone.
Yeah.
We're even talking about impression, business, face of NBA. I think just the combination, nobody in their wildest dreams would have thought that this trade would have happened, right? Like everyone was blindsided. I think a lot of people that claim that they didn't know, I think they knew. I think they saved LeBron from his relationship with AD. And again, assumptions lang po to, chismis ba, hindi ba? Pero, di ba, parang ako, sinave nila si LeBron na hindi nila pinaalam kay LeBron, quote-unquote, kasi nga, close sila ni AD, di ba? Sinave niya yung relationship na, pero I mean, if LeBron was against this, he would have voiced it out. But I think he's favorable to the trade. Gusto niya yung nangyari. LeBron has been carrying LA for so long. Now, parang historically, now is the best time to say na, hindi na ngayon kailangan magbuhat si LeBron.
Exactly. And
may Luka ka na.
May next na
And
tagabuhan.
having Luka there already brings LA in the position na hindi na sila kailangan mag-rebuild pag nawala si LeBron. Because now, the future is already there. Nakaplant na.
Yes, yun na. And we all know, ito naman si Luka, he can take care of the team. by himself.
Right.
He's talagang ito yung point guard na court general. Na
Pre-Kyrie, binubuhat niya na yung
Binubuhat
Dallas.
niya yung Dallas. Yun na, so kaya niya.
He brought a team that wasn't supposed to have any business going into the NBA Finals to the NBA Finals last year.
Last year. No, tapos ngayon, medyo he's still feeling off yung LA game. Kung paano. Medyo maliit pa yung score niya para sa akin. 14
I mean, coach, yung playing time na naman niya,
14.
23 minutes and 33 seconds lang.
Oh.
And if you take a look at it kasi, parang sa lahat ng players na major trade, di ba? Jimmy Butler, lahat De'Aaron Fox, lahat parang, lahat sila parang hindi sagad yung paggamit sa kanila.
At first,
si AD nga lang talaga parang
hindi
ako parang
sagad.
dapat sagad, dapat, pero alam mo yun parang
Bago sumagad, bumigay ka agad
pinatikim nga niya yung Dallas fans na parang
Ito ako, uy, pwede.
Oo, parang mukhang okay to. Biglang
ay.
Di ba? Parang ang sakit nun.
Ang sakit nun. Kasi you all thought na, ay, pwede. Maganda yung mangyari sa Dallas natin kasi meron naman tayong big man na can score, yung kayang-kaya niya talaga. You just have to give him the ball, tapos spread out, mas marami tayong makakatira.
And now, si AD, he belongs to a long list of injured centers now for the Dallas Mavericks. Kasi wala na rin si Daniel Gafford, he's injured. Derek Lively has been injured for a while. Wala rin si Powell.
So magti-trade ulit yata sila, AD ulit i-trade.
Pero ako, I was honestly excited for the AD Kyrie plus with Klay Thompson in that lineup. Ako, for me, that could have worked, right? Like, that lineup might be, parang it's a win-now lineup. So ako mas kabado pa nga ako dun sa LA, to be honest dun sa parang it made sense. I get it na okay, future natin si Luka. How did we trade away somebody this young? Pero if you look at the composition, assuming that they're all healthy, Dallas is a strong contender. I think they can beat Boston with that kind of healthy lineup. If yan yung lineup nila, they can win now. Diba? Mas kabado pa ako dun sa, how will that LeBron-Luka work? Diba? Parang, paano yun?
I think,
diba?
with me, I think when it comes to LeBron and Luka, now, LeBron's time to pass on the baton. Ikaw na magbaba ng bola. Meron ka ng tagababa ng bola. Ako, baka ito, si LeBron, sige ako na ngayon yung spot up, ako na yung post up, hindi na ako yung tagapasa.
Kasi coach, si LeBron, for the past few games, he's been playing so well. He's been putting up ridiculous numbers. Numbers that a 40-year-old shouldn't be putting up already at this time of his career.
Correct.
But now, exactly, pwede na siya magpahinga, pwede na
When I mean pahinga, I'm not saying na you're gonna cut down your numbers.
Kumbaga, babawasan mo lang ng konti mga responsibilidad mo.
Sige, ikaw na tagababa, napapagod na ako dyan.
Correct.
Dito na ako sa mas malaking advantage.
Pero coach, kasalanan din kasi niya yun Pinakuha niya si Bronny Tuloy. Ngayon, kailangan tuloy saluhin ni Luka yung Bronny.
Sobra, Ito mo ngayon yung ginilalaro ni LeBron, 24 points. 10 out of 17. So more than 50% parate.
And just 29 minutes, coach.
29 minutes
look
and
at that.
24 kay Luka. Almost 24.
And can we talk about the fact that I love how they huddled. Nung nag-huddle sila in the beginning of the game, and LeBron said, sinabi niya, Luka, do you?
Yeah.
That's like, don't change your game. Don't care about the impression of overweight. Wala lahat yan. Don't adjust because of me. Do you? And I think that was what that was the confidence that Luka needed to enter. Kasi I'm sure he entered also. I'm sure sa aeroplano palipad papunta ng LA. Pinifigure din na niya.
How can I get my numbers like this?
Paano mo mangyayari dito?
Play my game?
Yeah.
And we all got a glimpse of his game.
Correct.
Yung from the top, isolation boom, then fake, then step back shot. And then all these passes, yung ginagawa niya na sa Dallas.
And do you guys think that this was the perfect situation for him to come in and make his debut against a team that has been tanking already for this season, the Utah Jazz, a team that has no future making it to the playoffs this season. It made it seem like the moment was really focused on Luka coming in and making sure to represent himself as a Laker.
I think this whole trade just put NBA back on the rating, upward trajectory sa ratings nila, di ba? I think it was a really good business move for the NBA to allow all of these things to happen.
I don't know if the Lakers also.
Yeah, it was really good, di ba? Akin more than anything, kasi I still really cannot. I get that they're passing the baton. I get that. I completely understand the frustration from LeBron's part na parang 40 years old na ako. Ganito pa rin yung ginagawa ko, di ba? Parang, and not just for LA, but for the entire league, di ba? He's still doing that heavy lifting for the entire league. Now, I get the whole business move, right? And coach, you're a coach. I still don't know how. I saw that JJ Redick was subbing them out. Di ba? Hindi niya masyado pinagsasabay. LeBron, ikaw muna. Luka, ikaw naman. Papalit-palit, di ba? It's different when you have a super team that they all work together. Like for example, Kyrie, Klay, and AD, hindi sila nag-aagawan eh. Di ba? Parang may part sila sa... Ito kasi parang identical yung... Paano?
Position,
Paano eh? Di ba?
yeah.
Paano? Si LeBron is ball heavy also, ball dominant siya for him to be effective. The same with Luka. I really still can't figure out how and picture and imagine how they can work well together. I mean, the whole Kyrie and LeBron thing also before fell apart, di ba? Parang even when the Golden State formed that trio na of even the four with Kevin Durant, pasok pa rin eh. Di ba? Okay pa rin, swak pa din eh. Di ba? Kala natin magiging problema si Kevin Durant, si KD na papasok siya dun sa...
Pero
pasok
he
eh.
played the 4 positions,
Correct,
stretch
di ba?
4.
Ito hindi ko, ako personally hindi ko ma-imagine talaga.
Hopefully, dahil sa akin, no, so medyo mag-give way si LeBron para to take his advantage back. Kasi ang alam nating advantage ni LeBron since the beginning is him bringing the ball down, parang passing, creating. Ngayon, hindi na. Kung meron ka advantage sa post, spread out, titira ka, hindi ka na masyadong mapapagod. Pabayaan mo na si Luka gumawa ng mga binabangga-bangga from full court.
Yeah.
So yun na siguro, if they do it like that. Pero if they're gonna play like the same way, they have to take turns.
So my
That's
question
the
to both of you, how long do you think the transition period will be? Is it 2 years, 3 seasons? Is it within the season?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just asking.
You know, ako, for me, I really think na this is something that we have to see towards the next maybe 10, 15 games. Diyan natin malalaman. Because at this moment, it's not really a good thing to na makita from that game against the Utah Jazz how they're really gonna bode well together. Kasi obviously, the Utah Jazz, they're a weak team and they really dominated. 132 to 113. That's from the start, hindi naman nag-lead yung Utah Jazz eh. So, kaya lalaman natin in the next 10 to 15 games how this combination will really fit. Ako nga, para sa akin, yung pinakalugi dito si Austin Reeves.
Yeah. Totoo kasi, now
he's also gonna try to figure out where do I fit in all of
kasi
this.
he used to be the number 1 and number 2.
Exactly.
Ngayon, may makukuha na ng spot mo.
Kinect nga, bata ni Dino yun eh. Ngayon, muti ka na matrade na cancel lang, nabalik lang eh, di ba? So, yeah, it's the whole, I think, parang, it's like saying na, kunin na natin yan, tsaka na natin problemahin.
Yeah.
Di ba? Parang ganun yung para sa akin parang ganun yung...
Kasi, I mean, for any other team naman, di ba kayo magiging interesado kung i-offer sa inyo si Luka Doncic? This is a guy who has won All-NBA first team the last 5 years.
And you have to understand that Luka was first offered to the Bucks and some other team, I forgot, na kinancel lang, hindi natuloy. So, I think he was offered for Giannis, and I forgot the other team na in-offer din siya. Hindi nang rin pumayag eh. So, you have to understand na parang... there must be something there para hindi siya i-approve ng ibang teams, di ba? So, mayroon talagang something dito kay Luka eh. Teka lang, di ba? Why would you trade? So, I think AD, that's a message to AD that obviously you're not the franchise, di ba? You're not the future, you're not the franchise of LA.
Yes.
Kasi Giannis is the franchise, di ba?
That's why they said no.
Kasi
Siguro,
franchise to franchise eh.
Yun siguro yung problema.
Di ba? Pero
we
ito
couldn't take
parang...
away our franchise and then change it to
Which
another
kinakainis ng Dallas. Di ba na parang hindi tayo nakatanggap ng franchise pero ang pinadala natin franchise player. Paano nangyari yun, di ba?
But it was more the fans of Dallas that really got
Correct.
so frustrated with
Alright,
it.
LA was open arms with
Yeah,
Luka,
yeah.
di ba?
But what I'm saying is the management and obviously the GM of Dallas, they really had their mindset to it. Now, we're gonna get AD because we feel like Luka is not worth the supermax contract that we're gonna offer him next year.
That's right.
And hopefully, makabalik agad si AD, no? Sayang. And I think this season, they're gonna figure it out. Yung LA.
Pero, di ba, many people nga are saying na this is a more beneficial trade for Dallas in the short term because they're a more complete team right now with AD in the mix. Pero yung Dallas actually is in the bottom half of the team standings in the Western Conference. LA is currently at number 5 right now in the West. So now that they add Alex Len pa in the mix, he was now signed from the buyout market. Where do you think this puts the Lakers moving forward? Parang dami nagsabi na now they're more exciting to watch with Luka in the mix.
No. I think it's not about watching them and, see. Kasi you can watch teams that are exciting.
But-
Di ba?
but not winning,
But
per
may
se.
output ba?
Yeah.
Di ba? Kasi ako, feeling ko sinugal ng LA to. Obviously, the trade deadline was a factor. But ako, feeling ko sinugal ng LA rin because they're positioned well in right now sa
Yeah.
standing.
Yeah,
Diba?
kaya
They can,
nila.
they can risk it. Si Dallas, medyo kabado. Teka lang, kailangan pasok dapat yung
Right
decision.
now, yeah.
Oo, di ba? Para nang
Right
umangat
now.
sila. But LA can lose a couple of games trying to figure
figure
out
it
this
out.
whole dynamics. But
And I think yun nga, they're gonna figure it out later on. Ito, within this conference, within the season. Like what LeBron said to yung huddle niya. Sige, huwag mo kaming intindihin. You have to do you. Then, alam namin we can adjust. Kasi they've been playing like superstars naman parati.
Yeah.
They're used to that. No? So, hindi na kailangan nila no, we have to rotate the plays like that. No, whoever superstar we brought in the team, you have to do your score and then we have to do ours also. Yun lang. So, parang mix and match lang do eh. Diyan ka, sige, dito kami mag-a-adjust.
saka
Ito.
ang nakakatuwa kay LeBron kasi para talaga siyang kuya. Yung binibigyan niya ng para, sige,
Freedom, huwag ka mahiya.
ka muna. Tapos pagka nandyan lang siya sa shadow, nakaabang, pagka sumablay ka, sige, saluhin kita.
Okay, yeah.
Pero sige lang, gawin mo lang yung kailangan mong
Well,
gawin.
just the fact that he allowed Luka to be the last one called out during the starting line.
Iba
That's
na
a
yun.
big statement.
Iba na
That's a
yun.
big statement. Imagine that for Luka Doncic. Pero sabi ni Luka, okay, after this game, pwede na ulit na ikaw yung huling matawag. But Coach Willie, you have had a lot of experience in the PBA playing in star-studded teams. Ano yung pinaka-importanting kailangan gawin ng bawat isang player, especially kung ikaw yung isa sa mga star player dun sa team na yun? Ano yung kailangan gawin ng isang star player para mag-work for a championship?
Oh, first you have to band together. Hindi po pwedeng individually. No, you have to band together as one. You got to have one goal lang. Hindi kayo kung ano-ano.
You gotta be on the same
gusto
page.
score, isa gusto score, yung isa gusto score, isa lang yung bola. Paano to? So there has to be an option. Whoever has the advantage, you have to be happy for your teammate if he's scoring. You have to be happy for creating a shot for your teammate, getting your teammate open, o kaya rebounding ka lang for that possession or that game, just as long as you win.
Yeah.
No, hindi yung minsan kasi may naiinggit eh. Naka-score ka na, ako naman. Hindi ganun yung basketball dapat. Ang basketball, whatever's happening, whatever's yung good thing happening inside, you have to milk it and stay in that position. Diyan lang muna tayo until you miss. You miss nga, hindi, heat check ka pa rin. Baka mamaya malas lang eh.
Pero alam mo, maganda yung point mo, Coach Willie, kasi feeling ko si LeBron, ibibigay niya yung kay Luka.
Yun yung
Di ba,
sinabi
hindi niya
kasi
kailangan
yan.
ano eh.
And tapos na siya, ha?
Pero
Kumbaga,
gusto
wala
ko,
na rin siya kailangan
pero gusto ko
patunayan
din
sa
yung sinabi mo, Hav, na paano si Austin Reeves? Kasi parang siya yung
yung next in line na.
Tsaka parang sa totoo lang, parang guys, alam kong LeBron kayo ng LeBron, pero ako yung nagpapagod dito at nagbubuhat this entire season, ha?
But
You're
good-
not mentioning how much I'm putting on the floor.
He's been playing majority of the games.
Exactly, di ba? Na parang, okay, ba't kayong dalawa lang nag-uusap, hindi nyo ako sinasama sa conversation? Kasi kailangan ma-figure out nyo rin kung paano ako masasali dyan, di ba?
Ang siguro, dahil sanay rin si Austin na andyan dyan si LeBron, pero I can still do me. Sanay siya sa ganon. Ang
Paano
problema
ngayon? Dalawa na yung dumi niya.
Yan! Yun ngayon, he needs to adjust
Yun.
kung paano. Ito na yung bahala yung coach dyan.
It's so funny that Mavericks fans were even escorted from their seats at the American Airlines Center after calling for the firing of the general
Nico.
manager of Dallas, si Nico Harris.
That's
Well,
right.
I think he's trying to pay for his sins right now with all of his centers.
Grabe yung kay I mean, I can just imagine na gusto niya matunaw sa upuan nung na-injure si AD.
I'm pretty
diba?
sure. I'm pretty
Parang
sure.
gusto niya na
Ayaw niya siguro lumabas ang bahay.
That's the worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Di ba? You were praying na, okay, mananalo tayo.
Oo,
Just let's
sarap.
get through this game na walang injury.
It's a good trade. Oh, see? Even though he's compared na, pare.
Yun na
Diba?
nga.
Galing, no? Galing lang ginawa ko. Biglang,
No contact pa. Laterals lang.
Talagang mag-shift lang siya ng position niya.
sweep ng katawan, then minove yung right foot for the lateral, and then, saan ba yung tama?
And how many weeks? Left side eh.
Left.
Pero how many weeks siya out, di ba?
Yeah,
Parang,
it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a
Fragile
while.
na masyado siya, no? So,
kulit eh.
ewan ko nga.
Well, kayo mga ka-Sports Plus, tell us your thoughts and your opinions about that debut for Luka Doncic with the LA Lakers. Babasahin natin yung mga comments mamaya right after we go through all the hot takes. Alright, let's go to our next hot take. The legendary Hubie Brown finally called it quits at 91 years old after an illustrious 35 year in the broadcasting industry, the best analyst that we've had in the world of basketball. We're so thankful for the presence of Hubie Brown. All of us broadcasters, we're just so happy to have his example to watch the whole time that he was there in the booth. Imagine that he broadcasted or coached against 80% of the players in the NBA. Kasi nagsimula siya 70s pa lang. He started
NBA history,
history.
Yeah.
He started his coaching career with the Kentucky Colonels in the ABA, and then he moved to the NBA, coaching the Atlanta Hawks in 1976, and then New York, and then Memphis. He won NBA Coach of the Year twice in a yung
layo.
Grabe yung layo ng Coach of the Year awards yan. That just speaks so much to his brilliance. And Juan, I'm pretty sure being an analyst, you also looked up to him.
Definitely. So ako, if I'm not talking about sports, I'm in the education space. So that's kind of like half of who I am. And if there's anything that people would compliment me with, is they say na, when you're analyzing, it feels like you're teaching and helping the audience understand the game, di ba? And I take that compliment with pride because dapat lang teacher ako educator ako by profession, so it comes out with the way I analyze the game, di ba? And Hubie Brown is exactly that. If there's one word that would describe Hubie Brown, is that he teaches while he analyzes, and that's why I look up to him. I love listening to his broadcast because I learn a lot. And parang, iba kasi iba mag-analyze ang isang coach. Iba yung bini-breakdown mo yung play. Parang yung mga normal na tao kasi, parang sa kanila, hindi naman ako maglalaro, wag mo nang explain sa akin yan. Di ba? Yung ganong level di ba? So meron yung sobra naman yung pag-explain na parang technical masyadong X and O's. Di ba? Meron naman yung parang hindi na, parang alam ko naman yung sinasabi mo, ba't mo pa sinasabi yan? Medyo mababaw, di ba? May swing na ganon di ba? May kabilaan. And for me, with Hubie Brown, and that's why just how people honor him, is that it's the regular fans that honor him. Diba? Because they're saying that we got to appreciate the game of basketball even more when you would analyze it. You don't make it seem like na, coach ako, kaya ganito yung pag-analyze ko. Bahala na kayo kung intindihin niyo yan. Papakita ko lang sa inyo kung gaano ako galing mag-analyze. Hindi ganun Parang he brings basketball to your table.
Now,
kung
for you to
nasaan ka,
understand,
yes. And for me, that's why he lasted 91 years old and still doing. I can only imagine doing that until 91 years old, diba? Let alone na parang nakakatayo ka pa sa kama. Ito na pumupunta sa basketball game, very sharp 91 years old, knows the players. Pag meron sigurong bato sa akin na pangalan na player sa NBA, hindi ko kilala di ba? Siya.
Ito, sobrang alam lahat.
That's the
70 years as a coach and a sportscaster.
Yung pagiging coach pa lang, Coach Willie, I'm sure alam mo na yung stress na dala nito. Pero yung magbo-broadcast ka pa, ibang klase, di ba? For him to do that for 70 years, 35 as a coach and 35 as a broadcaster, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, sobra to. And we all know he helped a lot of coaches also. Na kasi ito yung style na ginagaya rin sa kanya.
Yeah.
No? And ang daming players na dumaan.
Yeah.
Ito yung mga players that you have to look up to your coach. Is ito na to. Dahil sobrang tanda, sobrang galing. And sobrang bait ito. Pag nagalit to, ibig sabihin,
Yari ka na talaga. Sobrang
tinuturuan
talaga
ka.
ginawa mo.
Tinuturuan ka.
And I love Coach Will, parang sinabi niya, which is I think kasi ikaw yun Sinabi niya nung ini-interview siya sa Milwaukee last game niya, di ba? It's parang tinanong, how did you last this long? Parang ganun di ba? Sabi niya na, sinabi daw sa kanya ng tatay niya na pag may pinasok ka, kailangan 100% ka lagi. And ako, I think you emulate that, Coach Will, di ba? Na parang never ka half-hearted. And that's why you feel it in everything. Parang, dapat by this time, sa dami na ng games na na-cover mo, parang, di ba nakakasawa? 91 years old ka na, hindi ka pa ba sawang sawa sa ginagawa mo?
Sa kanya, sigurado that's why he lasted that long. He enjoys and loves what he's
Every
doing.
second of it.
Sobra malamang to. He cannot get away or stay away from basketball.
Kasi, I mean, tayo, malalaman natin, just by listening to people in the broadcast, we will feel that if there's a tinge of half-heartedness, if there's a tinge na they're just trying to wing it.
Yeah.
But for Coach Hubie Brown, he has not made any half-hearted broadcast, at least with what I've watched in his whole career. Alam mo talaga, he's coming every game prepared to the letter.
And I hate, for me personally, this is my personal opinion. I hate analysts that make it seem like the coaches that they're broadcasting are stupid,
Yeah.
they don't know what
Yeah.
they do. Di ba parang, for me, maling approach yun to analysis eh. Di ba? The analysis part comes from, wait, this is basketball and there are a lot of things happening on and off the court, and if you can bring that closer to the audience, that's your job.
Yep.
Di ba? Your job is not to make the coaches on the floor of the teams that
Look
you're covering
bad
look
or-
bad
yeah.
or make them look stupid.
There
or-
shouldn't be any bias.
Exactly, di ba? And parang don't make it seem like you're far better than them. That's not the point of the whole analysis, eh, di ba? You have parang ka naghahanap ng trabaho kung ginagawa mo yun. Kaya mo sinasabi
Parang gusto mo
para
maging
makuha
coach.
ka, para ikaw
totoo.
kunin, di ba?
Maraming ganyan.
Correct, di
Maraming
ba?
ganyan.
So ayaw natin ng ganun. Lalo na kung audience, the audience sees that, eh. The audience get to hear that, and that's what they appreciate with UB Brown. Eh. Di ba na walang vested interest. Yung basketball na ina-enjoy ko, gusto ko rin ma-enjoy nyo at maintindihan nyo the way I'm understanding it. And that's how he covered. That's why he's labeled as a teacher, both as a coach and as a broadcaster. He emulates teaching and educating his audience.
There's not gonna be another Hubie Brown in our midst for sure, and I don't think anybody will be ever in a position to get that same kind of success that he did. Imagine to be working until 91 years old. Can you be working for 91 years
91,
old?
I don't know. I can't even get off the bed, 91 years old, let alone memorize the lineup.
Exactly. Hindi lang yung lineup yung kabisado niya. He knows the plays and
Correct.
he also knows the background of the players.
Ito, sa atin meron tayo nito. Si Jolie pa.
Coach Joe.
Coach Jolie pa. Ilan taon na ba si Coach Jolie pa? Yan, hindi ko
Mga 80. I think he's
Pero
around
si
80.
Dr. J also is...
Dr. J,
Dr. J
yeah.
is still covering games, di ba?
Yeah.
You have also... Kami, mga OGs na I look up to, obviously si Sir Seb, si Dr. J, yan yung mga talagang OG na hanggang ngayon. Nung bata pa ako, pinapakinggan ko, ngayon,
Nasa 80s pala, napapakinggan mo na.
Nandyan pa rin yung boses nila. So,
Naging coach pa namin yan. Naging ano ba namin
sa Red Bull. Sa Red Bull. Correct,
Diba?
correct.
Tapos
Si Kenito, si The Dean, di ba? Yan yung mga parang OG talaga na parang idol mo talaga kasi ang galing nila mag-cover just the way they bring basketball closer to the fans. And they're still doing it.
Exactly.
I can just, wish and pray that I get
Maging
to that
ganun
point.
tayo, di ba?
Oo.
And they're still enjoying it. I always see them in the game. Then they're smiling.
Passionate.
Yan
pa rin,
yung passion.
diba?
If you're passionate about what you're doing, especially broadcasting, nako, ang dami mong players na makapasaya, ang dami mong fans na makapasaya, ang dami mong mga nanonood, at saka yung nakikinig sa'yo na makapasaya, lalo na yung mga hindi marurunong sa basketball.
Mismo.
Yan yung ginagawa ni...
And the passion that we're saying is something that we just hope and pray that we have throughout throughout our careers. Sana makuha rin natin yung same kind of passion na meron ni Hubie Brown.
1955.
Yeah,
Coaching
1955.
Congratulations once again to Coach Hubie Brown, perhaps the most successful broadcast analyst in the world.
Talaga bang in-announce na? Magre-retire na?
Oo,
Baka biglang mag-4 number 45 na mag-comeback to, ha? Mag-number 45
Binigay na
to.
rin siya ng game ball nung ng Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, yung game ball binigay na rin sa kanya ng referees.
That's right.
He once led the league in technicals when he was a
Sinabi
coach, and sabi niya rin yun sa mga referees, wow, I led the league in technicals before and you're giving me the game ball now from the referees pa mismo.
Ay, naabutan pa niya yung panahon na sa dalawa lang yung referee.
Oo, yung
Ganun
man
ka,
pala. Again, congratulations to Coach Hubie Brown for a very successful broadcasting and coaching career. Maraming salamat sa'yo. Alright, let's move on to our next hot take. Boss Al firing at Coach Luigi Trillo. Alam naman natin na nanalo na ang Ginebra laban sa Meralco, but Boss Al Francis Chua took a little bit of something from what Coach Luigi said, kasi Coach Luigi told the media na we're gonna have to face Ginebra, and whether it's early in the playoffs or late in the playoffs, but before we reach the finals, we're gonna have to face Ginebra. And Coach Al, medyo na-offense.
And yung sinabi niya, we wanted this. Yun yung, I think, yung
Yeah.
statement
Yung medyo
na yun eh.
statement
Diba?
na
Na ang sinabi ni Coach Luigi, and I quote, sabi
Parang
niya,
ang dating pilik.
oh, we wanted this. I know we're 0-4 to Ginebra right now, including the last one, but we wanted this. We're going to go through Ginebra anyway, whether it's now or later. And syempre, ang response ni Boss Al dyan, sabi ni Luigi, kami ang pinili, and I quote, na kaya nila kami. Yung nakalagay, I guess nagkamali sila ng pinili dahil ang coach naman, si Nenad. Bakit si Nenad? Iba ang pinili. Kami, pinili niya kami. And I think, obviously, this whole, we've always talked about Clasico, di ba? Magnolia and Ginebra, we've talked about TNT also and the rivals. But then,
meron din
itong Meralco at Ginebra.
Hindi medyo na
This has been brewing over the past few years.
Ang dami ng beses sila nagkita sa finals. And it has always been a count of who's gotten it, gotten better of the other. And obviously, Ginebra has gotten the number of itong Meralco.
I think once or twice lang nanalo ang Meralco.
And so, everyone, for me, it's a rivalry. I really think
Definitely.
it's an established rivalry.
For you not to say that it's a rivalry, sorry, it is a rivalry. Definitely.
And then, that has to be said. Kaya naman nagkaroon ng laman yung mga salita.
Mga salita.
Kasi rivalry to eh.
Meron na to dati pa. No, nagpipilian na to, ito na yung gusto. Minsan hindi naman yung pili eh. I think medyo yung statement lang ni Coach Luigi, sinabi niya na we wanted this. Ito yung gusto. Ang malamang, ang ni Coach Luigi dito is gusto niyang bumawi.
Correct.
Gusto niyang bumawi.
Correct.
Siyempre, medyo si Coach Ali, Coach ko kasi ito eh. Sa PBL eh. So si Coach Al, nagkamali ka ng pinili. Ngayon, makapagyabang namin, pinalo namin.
Pwede mo rin kasing tanggapin. Tama yung sinabi mo, Coach Will. Di ba na si Coach Luigi could have meant this and we don't know the real motives behind it. Pero we can just assume, di ba? Lahat to assumption lang natin. Pero he could just meant na parang gusto namin bumawi. Di ba? Lagi na lang kami tinatalo ng ito.
Talo namin eh.
Oo, kaysa sa panalo eh.
Sinabi niya nga, we have to face them. We're gonna face them naman.
Either way.
Either way. Ngayon or later on.
Kumbaga, he's just facing reality eh.
Reality na ito, kailangan we have to get over.
And when you say you wanted this, it means na parang, we wanted to face Ginebra. There's nothing wrong with wanting to face Ginebra.
Because they want to win the championship.
Correct.
And for them to get to the championship,
and they want to kind of even the odds, di ba? Na parang
Yeah.
lagi na lang lamang yung Ginebra sa amin sa parang gusto naman namin habulin yun, di ba?
Pag natalo kasi nila yung Ginebra sa playoff, sa finals, mas meron na silang chance.
Pero
Baka
yung chance na, yun yung pwedeng tanggap ni Boss Al. Ang tanggap naman ni Boss Al na parang, kaya ba kami pinipili nyo dahil mas magaling ba kami? Ganon ba? Nagkamali ka
that's why a
doon,
lot of
diba?
people are wondering, bakit pa ba, kumbaga,
Enjoy to.
bakit pa pinalaki ni Boss Alto? I mean, why did he have to go to the media? Panalo na nga sila, they're moving on to the next round, they're moving on to the semifinals. Why did he have to say to the media na,
it could also be a
Luigi,
mind.
pinili mo kami. Ayan.
Pero it could be also a mind games for the next round. Di ba?
Hindi nyo pa rin kami kaya.
Tingnan mo tong Meralco, kaya nila kami. Sorry na lang sa the rest of the teams na kalaban namin kasi huwag nyo kaming isusmall di ba?
And there's always that thing na pag meron kang pinipili, parati nagkakamali yung iba yung resulta parati na ng maraming teams yan, no? Kasi ang nangyayari minsan, alam mo yung magiging kalaban mo malakas. So pipili ka lang, dito ako.
Kapadehado ka muna para ito
yung match up ko. Tapos, pagdating mo sa match up ngayon, all out lahat, talo ka. Doon ka man.
Kailangan ko sabihin yan kasi totoo yan, nangyari yan sa Asia Cup. So yung anak ko, lumaban sila with under Coach Josh. Yung Japan, alam ko Japan or Korea, I think, one of the two teams, ang assumption dun is hindi nila binigay yung todo nila. Para
Kasi pasok na rin naman sila
Oo, para makaiwas sila dun sa China
top,
or sa Australia yata or something like that. So ang ending, madadaanan nila yung Pilipinas. So kala nila, kaya namin yung Pilipinas. Yun ang nakadali sa kanila. Kaya sila natanggal. So, ganyan, tama yan karma yan karma.
I think that happened to me once sa PBA. Hindi ko maalala kung ano. Oo. So talagang pinag-usapan namin. Ito, mas madali to, mas mahirap tong kalaban. 'Di ba? So ginagamit lahat ng player, 'di ba? Mga last few games namin di na kailangan tumodo. Save na rin kasi ganyan, i-save mo for playoffs yung players mo
Kalkulado mo na
Save mo, hindi ka na kailangan ng 40 minutes. 35 ka na lang, 30 ka na lang. Di ba? Ganyan
Pero personally kayo, ano ba take nyo dun sa parang kung yung parang going the easier path?
Ako strategy pa rin naman kasi
Sa coach ang strategy.
Strategy pa
Ako
rin
kasi,
naman.
as a player, kung sino yung nasa harap, yan yung kalaban mo. And pangit kasi yung magsisave ka. Baka mamaya sa akin, hindi ka dumating. And yung kumpiyansa kasi mas maganda.
Mismo, coach eh. Tsaka parang naging habit mo kasi.
Two schools of thought yan eh. It pwedeng, ginagamit ako na ng utak, strategy.
Yeah,
Or yung kabilang thought naman is yun yung sinasabi ng mga, like yung time na Coach Joe, sinasabi na, if you don't respect the game will not respect you.
Yun yung
Very well.
yun nakakaano. So, hindi naman sinabi na parati kang matatalo. Minsan, it will work. No? Pero, pag natsyempohan ka na akala mo kaya mo, tapos natalo ka, iyak ka talaga.
Yari ka doon.
Iyak ka talaga, tapos talaga sisihan kayo.
Ako, mukhang may ano tayo dyan. Ilabas mo na yung totoo.
Hindi.
Labas mo! Labas mo yung totoo nangyari sa dugout. Yeah!
Hindi. Yung alam mo yung
Parang may
sisihan na...
pinanghuhugutan bigla.
Hindi, alam mo yung sisihan na... Yung anak ng tatay, kapipili natin. Ganyan. Dapat tayo lang dyan. Kasalanan mo kasi ganyan eh, di ba? Parang ganyan
Gusto mo bang maglag ng konting ng pangalan?
Hindi ko matandaan. Yung tatlong teams ko lang naman to eh. Hindi ko matandaan Red Bull kami kasi nag-champion naman kami. Talk and Text
Alaska.
or Alaska. Doon sa tatlo, hindi ko matandaan. Isang beses lang nangyari sa akin. Hindi ko matandaan kung saan.
Pinili.
Pero talagang kami, iyak talaga kaming player. Tapos inom talaga kami. Sama ng loob eh. Alam mo yung tapos nanonood, alam mo yung bibisita ka sa bahay ng kakampi mo. Tapos dapat tayo dyan eh. Di ba? Kumakain kayo. Tapos, liga nga, inom na nga tayo.
Pero, yeah, guys, you mentioned that it could be a possible mind games for the next na kalaban ng Ginebra. They are going up
They're sending a message.
Northport.
Yeah, and every time they're gonna play against each other, no, it's gonna be a...
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think
battle.
it's a patent. I think it should be. I think there should be a
After.
statue of this kind of rival. Matagal tong Ginebra at Meralco. Matagal-tagal pa tong.
Matagal na to.
matagal. Mainit-init at matagal-tagal pa tong.
Hindi, pero yun nga, parang panakot ba to ni Boss Al doon sa sunod nila na kalaban na Northport, which will finish the conference number 1.
Oo, pwede rin. Na hindi pwedeng iisipin mo na mahina kami. Di ba? Na kaya namin talunin kahit yung mga malakas. And Meralco is the champion last season. Oh, last conference.
It's a big statement. It's a big statement.
to. And you cannot stay...
And tsaka, Ginebra yan, kaya nilang panindigan yung statement na yun.
Especially with the kind of players that they have right now. And alam mo naman natin si Boss Al, Coach Willie, naging coach mo naman si Boss Al. Si Boss Al, sobrang galing rin yan talaga sa mind games. That's a big part of life that he really tries to explore to gain an advantage, di ba?
Sobra yan. No? So, parang nakikipag-away din yan. Referee, players, kalaban na players, ima-mind games yung
Wherever he sees fit na maging maganda para sa inyo.
For the betterment of his team or his players, gagawin niya.
Well, one thing's for sure, si Boss Al, he will always fight for his players and make sure that his players have the best assets for them to be successful and win a championship. So, titingnan natin how Ginebra will fare in the next series. Kaya mga ka-SPNation, comment nyo kung ano sa tingin nyo yung naging opinion nyo dyan sa sinabi ni Boss Al. Alright, let's go to our Sports Plus Nation expert picks. We have 15 NBA games tomorrow, pero we will be only discussing 3 NBA games, and it will be San Antonio versus Boston. That's going to be the first game happening at 8 o'clock a.m. That's going to be the first game that we're going to be talking about. And in this game, Coach Willie, sino ang pili mo dito? Spurs versus Boston. Spurs, of course, one of the teams that have new players sa kanilang roster.
Ang akin kahit gusto ko yung laro ng Boston and then sila yung champion. Ang pinili ko pa rin yung team ko, yung Spurs. So Spurs pa rin ako.
They have De'Aaron Fox right now. Coach Willie, anong opinion mo dyan yan? Obviously, medyo malayo pa yan sa playoff contention niya na 23 and 28 and they lost they're 2-3 in their last 5 games.
With the addition of Aaron Fox, medyo mag-iiba na naman yung look ng San Antonio. No? And they have to run now with Aaron Fox. So yun na, they have to be fast. Ang mahirap control ni Chris Paul when half court, and then Aaron Fox naman pagdating sa transition.
And from what I understand, ako nga, nagulat ako, very strategic na rin kasi because of all the data na nag-gather ng, technology and science, di ba? Lahat ng numero, nag-gather mo na. Kahit anong klaseng data, a statistic na kailangan mo, makuha mo. And right now, si De'Aaron Fox is 6th, I think, in points scored off pick and rolls. So strategic din yung trade eh, di ba? Kumbaga, ang number 1 kasi si Chris Paul, tas ang 2 or 3 ba, I think? I forget the number, but Wembanyama is also part of that list. So imagine that, yung 3
Top 10
players,
ka, o top 6, sige.
si Fox, si Wembanyama, and Chris Paul who scores the most points from a pick and roll are in your lineup. Alam mo na kung anong itatakbo na play
Yeah,
nito,
and
diba?
San Antonio Spurs, they live off pick and rolls.
Live and
yun
die
yung,
by the pick and
yan
rolls.
yung pinakamagandang ano nila ngayon.
It's just amazing how much data are really
Number 6,
Got
hindi
in.
ko alam
So,
yan.
strategic yung,
nowadays.
Wow.
strategic yung trade na yun.
Trade.
diba?
So, malamang to, tinitignan talaga. Medyo kulang pa tayo pag medyo they're stopping yung pick and roll ni Chris Paul. Tingnan natin sa mas matuli naman.
And you know the trade was very beneficial with the fact that they didn't have to let go of their core players, their young core players, no. So ikaw Juan, you also
I
pick
would have
San
to
Antonio?
go against. I love San Antonio also, like Coach Willie is, but I think for me, Boston will do well in this matchup. They're just kind of like they're there already. You know, they're San Antonio's still trying to figure out, di ba? Parang, you know, pinapamature pa nila. Kumbaga, pinapaano pa nila yung mga players nila. Itong Boston, hinog na talaga.
Hinog
eh.
na.
Alam mo?
Gusto ko kaso sa
Hinog na hinog
kasi yung team ko eh.
Well, just for this particular matchup lang naman. And
Yeah.
Boston has won 4 of their last 5 games. So magkaiba sila dito. Coach Willie going with the Spurs. Juan going with the defending champion, the Boston Celtics. Our next game is Milwaukee facing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Milwaukee is 2-3 in their last 5 games, while Minnesota is 3-2. Milwaukee also made a change to their roster, making a trade for Kyle Kuzma, swapping with Chris Middleton, while Minnesota chose to stay put with their current roster. Coach Willie, are you going with
Minnesota.
what team? Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota
Yes
Timberwolves.
naman.
Actually, si Julius Randle pa nga ang bumubuhat ngayon, eh, di ba? Si Anthony Edwards kind of took
He's
a
in a kind of slump right now.
di ba? Parang medyo
Still early.
weird, eh, no?
Medyo siguro, pinapabayaan niya na muna si Randle na to get his groove.
Correct. And so, yeah, I agree with Middleton kasi he hasn't been the same after, you know, and then injuries pa. So the trade was actually good. I'm interested to find out how that whole Kyle Kuzma dynamics will work out with Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Pero for this, I am with Coach Willie. I'm going for Minnesota as well.
So it's 2-0 here, Milwaukee, pareho si Coach Willie and si Juan Banal. Our last game, it's gonna be the Golden State Warriors visiting the Dallas Mavericks. So another team that made a blockbuster trade during this very historic trade deadline. Jimmy Buckets proving that he is a good fit for this Steph Curry-led squad.
Automatic na ako. GSW.
GSW tayo dyan.
Automatic na.
Parang wala na yatang ginawang tama yung Dallas ha. After na-injure si AD, parang,
No,
Eh,
medyo.
sinasabi na eh, di ba? Yan na nga sinasabi ko eh, di ba? Yan na.
Sabi ko sa'yo eh.
Di ba?
Hindi
And
tatagal eh.
nagre-refund na sila ng mga season tickets kasi nga sobrang buwisit ng mga fans, di ba? And right now, Golden State, I'm excited. I saw this recent post, I think it was Seth Curry that posted it, that he said, it's good to see Steph Curry smiling again. Di ba? And that has a lot to do with Jimmy Butler. Just the play. Obviously, siya sinasabi niya, hingal ako, wala ako sa kondisyon. Pero imagine, if I can get in shape, I'm so excited. Kahit ako eh, yung Jimmy Butler in Golden State, parang naging questionable din siya sa akin eh. But then, with the addition of Jimmy Butler, now they're getting more free throws, which they don't get a lot. Jimmy Butler, averages 10, 11
he brings a
attempts.
different facet of the game.
And
this
I
Golden
think
State squad.
he's a young green. Ito yung parehong
Dog eh, no? Yung
yan.
grit na ano eh, di ba?
So ayaw magpapatalo. And they always run a lap on him na hindi nila niraran kay Green. No? And he plays
Ako nga
super
parang even yung dynamics ni Draymond, una skeptic ako eh. Parang parehas to hot-headed, parehas to bull-headed.
Yun na,
Paano
yan.
magsasama to? Pero sinasabi nga ni Jimmy na Draymond has been like that older kuya, di ba na tinuturuan niya sa amin, ang daming plays. Hindi ko memorize lahat, pero si Draymond has been very gracious. Tinuturuan niya talaga si Jimmy Butler.
At baka ito yung pasa na rin eh. Bakit yung pasa na rin?
Correct,
Oh,
correct.
ikaw na yung bahalang mag-toyo.
Correct.
Medyo relax naman ako. Di ba?
But obviously, you know, many people are saying that, okay, Jimmy Butler definitely is a good addition for them, but this does not really put them in a run for a champion.
And they
Not
are,
yet.
and they're not even in the playoffs list pa rin,
Yes,
di ba?
yes.
Nag-aabol, not even in the play-in eh. So parang nagdedele ka doon. Nandun sila, nakasabit sila ng konti. In this major move, it was bound to happen. Parang nakakaawa na yung Golden State. Actually, nakakaawa si Steph. Di ba
ilang years
nakakailang
na bang
buwan
nawala?
na eh? Oo.
Ilang years nang wala? 3 years?
Yeah.
3 years na?
3 years.
3 years
3 years
na?
ba? Yeah.
3 years. Nakakaawa for the fact na sanay tayo na sila parating na sa ibabaw.
And tsaka parang gusto mo nang ibigay kay Steph to eh, di ba? Parang tulungan na natin si Steph. Ilan na lang yung taon ni Steph eh. And that's why Golden State even made a play to get KD. Si
Yeah.
KD lang felt like, hindi pa panahon, ayoko pa, hindi pa. And I think he has something to prove.
Andiyan pa si
Suns.
Draymond eh. Andiyan pa si Draymond. Ayoko muna bumalik.
Well, for me, he was the best pick sana, si KD, para sa Golden State. Alright, so both of you are picking Golden State
Yes,
for this
yes.
one. I think walang pumipili sa Dallas ngayon. Mga araw na to, walang pumipili.
Wala
sa
nag-i-empathize sa kanila.
Wala nag-i-empathize sa kanila. Alright, so that was it for our Sports Plus Nation expert picks. San Antonio versus Boston, Milwaukee versus Minnesota, and Golden State versus Dallas. Abangan niyo yan bukas. 3 of the 15 NBA games happening tomorrow. Alright, let's have some comments. I think some of our fans have put out their comments during our live broadcast. Let's look at some of them.
Yun!
Meron ba? Ayun. Teo Flores, sabi niya, LeBron is already passing the torch to Luka as the face of the NBA this generation. No doubt about it.
Yeah, that's like what you said na ito na, dalawa. Hindi pwedeng dalawang face sa isang team. So ito na, ipapasok na talaga to.
And it's just really good business. Isipin mo, I saw a post talking about like yung ticket sales, the cheapest ticket the ticket price in an LA home game is $44. Ngayon parang $140 na dollars, di ba? Isipin mo, people are just really coming to watch.
And sobrang daming jerseys na mabebenta to.
Pero
Si Luka yata 6 yata rin siya eh, sa jersey sold or
Yeah,
4th.
yeah.
So medyo malayo, but I think now that you put Luka and LA
I think that's
in
gonna
one
put him at
jersey,
number 1 right now.
Ngayon, oo. So tapos na tayo kay Bronny tsaka kay Lebron. So Luka naman.
Kinailangan si Luka kasi pang cover up kay Bronny.
Totoo, para tapos
Kung
na yun.
100 plus yung pinaka-cheap na home game ticket sa LA ngayon, sa Dallas magkano?
Nagre-refund na nga sila eh. Ayaw na nga ng season tickets eh.
Inaano na eh, nililibre na, yung PBL na.
Parang $2,000 US dollars
PBL na
yata
yung
nga per season ticket holder yata.
$2
binabalik nila.
$2 yata.
US. Grabe.
Crazy. Alright, thank you to you, Flores. Let's go to our next comment. Next comment, Pagod sa Buhay Comics says, tumitirik mata ni Kim Kardashian sa last game.
Nako.
Ako, Diyos ko.
The Kim Kardashian curse! Do not
Please, wag.
lay your hands on... Pero nag-comment si Luka. Nag-comment
kasi
si Luka.
nag-post si Kim Kardashian na parang I want to learn Slovenian. And then, yeah, Luka commented.
Said, please don't. Parang ganun. Sabi niya,
He's well aware of the Kardashian curse. Whether it's Kim, it's
Kim,
Kylie,
do
it's Kendall.
not lay
Huwag
your
tinabunan ng
hands on
pisan, please.
Luka.
Not Kim.
Please.
Sabihin natin, Luka, stay away. Not Kim, because he'll...
Ilayo mo ako sa tukso.
Malamang lalapit yung mga manonood dyan.
And yun na siguro yung magiging kalaban niya dito, you know, being in LA.
Kaya na, tapos
obviously.
iiyak na naman yung
Loud
LA. May curse na naman, iiyak na naman kayo.
Maraming salamat, Pagod sa Buhay Comics. Do we have more comments? Power Mac says, gonna miss the commentary of Hubie Brown. The best to ever do it. Hope he'll enjoy his retirement. Definitely the GOAT.
Kambing.
Absolutely.
Wala na tayo masabi.
No
dyan.
contention there.
Wala
That's the truth.
Thank you,
Facts,
Power Mac. Facts. Next comment, do we have another one? Titi of Manila says, daming sat-sat ni Luigi the Tommy coach. Dapat kasi hayaan na ng PBA yung foreigners to coach. Wala namang naniniwala na head coach si Luigi. Hindi nga nabigay yung coach of the year sa kanila kahit nanalo ng Philippine Cup. Bakit? Kasi dummy siya. Wow, those are really very hard words coming from Titi of Manila.
When siguro you say dummy, is kung sino yung nakaupo, ay kung sino yung nakapangalan lang sa ano.
By
sa
name
papers.
lang, no? By name.
No. And we all know, they're still a head coach naman. Pero yung may iba yung nagpapatakbo.
Ibang sistema lang, but you know,
Iba yung
he's
sistema.
still the figurehead.
Yeah. So,
But do you think that this kind of system in Philippine
Ito yung
basketball
ano eh.
should be removed?
I mean, Converge is also in the same boat, di ba?
Oo,
Parang-
so pareho din kami, may ganyan din kami. Ang
But,
ano is,
yeah,
sa amin, hindi foreigner coach.
Hindi, pero yun nga, coach, ginagawa na nga ng
May
maraming
loophole ka
teams
eh. May
Ginagawa
loophole
na ng
ka.
maraming teams. Do we just like do away with the thing na figurehead? Kumbaga, let's just make the foreigners head coaches.
Baka lahat foreigners naman, yari naman.
Ay,
Pilipino.
yun naman siguro yung maging problema.
Diba?
Ako naman out of ignorance, hindi ko kasi alam, I haven't done my research about the rule. I will do my homework, pero it still makes sense na okay lang payagan kasi gagaling din naman lahat, di ba?
Oo
I mean,
nga eh.
dude, okay. Pag nagpapatraining tayo ng coaches camp, sino ba pinapapunta natin? Eh di,
Foreigner,
foreigner
ibang
din
bansa.
naman eh, di
Oo.
ba? Kumbaga kung gusto natin gumaling, maganda na makalaban natin yung magagaling, di ba? So, obviously, it's not gonna be a long-lasting thing na forever mangyayari, but if we wanna speed up also the development of our whole Philippine basketball system, it might be a good idea. I mean, it's the same thing that's happening. On paper lang na ganyan, pero technically na naman, iba rin naman nagpapatakbo.
Patakbo, yes. So, kung may loophole naman talaga, kahit anong rules na gagawin mo, kaya gawa ng paraan ng Pilipino yan, napagaling ng
Siyempre
Pilipino.
naman.
No?
Siyempre
So, kailangan is you have to fix the rules talaga kung ano yan. No? Kung pwede yan, kaya gawin lahat yan. Yun lang naman eh. Di ba parang dati, consultant. Consultant ang tawag pero head coach pala. Yun din yan eh. Di ba? Manager pero head coach pala. Yun din yan eh. Pare-pareho lang yan. So, gawan nyo ng rules kung paano. Kung hindi, payagan nyo na.
Maraming salamat, TT of Manila. And I think we have one last comment. Champion Online Shop says, tama ka dyan, Boss Al. Di naman totoong head coach si Luigi. Dapat wag na siyang papa-interview. Nag-ihis lang siyang dummy head coach. Let na not do those interviews. Pahiya ka tuloy. Alam mo, minsan, ito yung nga yung nangyayari. Pag ikaw yung, kumbaga, dummy head coach, syempre yung foreigners, sabihin sa'yo, ikaw na humarap talaga sa
Hindi, bawal naman talaga kasi humarap yung
Bawal, they're
hindi
not gonna interview.
Diba? Head coach kasi on paper is the one that's supposed to be conducting those
okay.
interviews.
Kung merong interview to, siguro as assistant coach, is yung mga hindi after the game. And during the interview, yung proper game interview is yung head coach talaga yan. No? And head coach are gonna say something na yung pangalan nila yung nakataya.
We have to, I mean, I think it's also unfair to throw shade at Coach Luigi.
I agree.
No.
He is a champion coach.
And he is a head coach.
He is a head coach also, former
I
head coach also. So I think it's, we have to stop disrespecting. And every other coach that we call dummy, I think they're doing their part. Diba? It's not an easy job to take all these criticisms and all that. Alam naman nila yung role nila, diba? Pero for us to say that, I think Coach Will, I'm sure even if my head coach, the dynamics right now of coaching staffs is that it's not just one coach really. It's a collective effort of all the coaches. Obviously, the buck will stop with the head coach, pero it's never just one-man team in the coaching staff.
And
right?
most of the time, minsan aangal kayo sa depensa pangit, sisihin yung head coach. May defensive coach.
Pati nyo nasisihin yung defensive coach.
So, kailangan siguro ilagay na lahat yung mga nakalagay sa
Role, no? Yung
role
role.
natin. Boom! Ang pangit ang depensa. Yari ang defensive coach. Sahip ka.
Pero kasi sa NFL, alam mo
Alam mo,
kung sino.
kita-kita.
Kasi
Oh,
talagang
Oo.
naka-designate eh. Defensive coordinator,
So, siguro, yan
offensive
ang ano natin.
coordinator.
No,
Pausuhin
Siguro
mo sa
pag-
una
yung pangalan.
ang pangit
Sa Converge.
ang pangit ang mga kaya ako nagagalit ako pag pangit lang ng guards namin. Diba?
Kasi trabaho mo
I take
yun.
responsibility
Oo.
when it comes to the guards. And I talk also sa mga coaches when they're trying to blame the guard na alam ko hindi kasalanan ng guards or hindi dapat i-blame yung guards. So, nagre-react ako kasi yun yung trabaho ko. Kaya, magagalit na kayo sa akin, wala naman akong pakialam.
So kayo ba,
Magalit sa akin.
mga fans, kailangan ba palitan na yung mga pangalan?
Pangalan,
Mga
lagay mo
coaches?
na.
Lagay na.
Sa dami.
Para
Lagay
hindi na
mo
yung
na.
head coach parati
May-
sinisisi. Is that what it takes?
Yeah.
Oo, lagay
Is
mo
that
na.
what it takes?
Yeah.
Kailangan
Assistant
ba palitan?
coach, guards.
Coach, defensive coach, offensive coach.
guards, bigs, lahat yan.
Simulan nyo na sa Converge. Pausahin nyo na.
Pausahan nyo na.
Alam mo,
Pwede,
uso yun.
pauso natin yan. Lagay ko sa ano, guardia eh, mga
Para
kamote. Yari.
let's stop with the
Kamote, ha?
disrespect. Let's stop with the disrespect.
Hindi, totoo. Hindi to dummy. Totoong head coach,
Yeah.
Just so happen na merong itinalaga lang sa team nila. No, pero head coach. And champion coach to ha,
Yes.
hindi basta-basta to. Ito yung champion coach. Sa ano siya? Dalawa. Meron siya sa Alaska tsaka sa
Yes.
Meralco?
yata.
Alam ko Alaska eh.
Alaska yung so meron to, may championship. So hindi basta-basta. Hindi lahat ng coach is nakakapagpa-champion sa PBA.
Agree.
Maraming salamat, Champion Online Shop. And abangan natin ba napalitan ng Converge yung mga pangalan ng mga coaches nila.
Gusto ko yan, yung t-shirt ng Converge
Yan,
nandun
totoo.
na nakasulat.
Ito, si Coach Luigi.
Dapat yung may ilaw pa, Coach Will.
Pagka may mali, pag may mali, boom, ito
Tapos may
sisisihin nyo.
kuryente.
Ito
May
yung sisisihin nyo. Alalalala.
May kuryente dapat yung damit nyo pagka kanino may kasalanan yan. Pipindutin.
Mali ka. Ito si Coach Luigi, no? Just to let you know. Magkasabay kami birthday nito.
Uy, okay.
No, so yung mga kasabay ko ng birthday, so tinitext ko pagka birthday namin. Coach Luigi, happy birthday! So nagme-message ko si Gary, si Ria, what ko, patay na nga lang yung isa, di ba? So, pero nagme-message kami. So ako parate, nag-reach out ako mga kakasabay ko. Si Soti, yung mga kaibigan ko sa Letran. Lahat ng mga kaibigan ko na kasabay ko sa birthday, mini-message ko. Ito si Coach Luigi yung isa. Mabait to. Medyo yung salita lang, medyo ma-offend ka minsan. Dahil straight to. Tapos ito yung natural way niya magsalita.
Exactly.
No, natural way niya. Pero mabait to.
He's just confident with the way
Sobra to. No, Coach Luigi!
Alam niya kasi yung sinasabi niya.
No?
Alright,
Yari nga lang siya ngayon.
Yari talaga siya.
Ganun talaga, pag talo, tanggap
Ganun
mo.
talaga.
Diba? Pag panalo, edi
Yung
okay.
better
diba?
end ngayon na kay Coach Al.
Happy.
Yung yabang, yung baton ngayon ng yabang na kay Coach Al.
Alright mga ka-SPNation, maraming salamat sa magdala sa ating episode ng SPNation Season 3 tonight. And for all of you who commented and for all of you that viewed our episode, maraming salamat muli. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at SportsPlusPH. For Juan Banal and for Coach Willie Miller, this has been Javi Palanya. Maraming salamat. See you at the next.
Dapat may LA sign.
LA na.